Want to know why you should stop buying equipment for your t-shirt business? Do you feel like you have to have the latest and greatest piece of equipment just to be successful? Well, sit tight. Let's talk about why it's important to stop buying and start focusing on what's going to make your business successful. What's going on, guys? I'm Mr. T-Shirt, and I've been noticing a common problem that a lot of crafters and even small business owners find themselves with, and that's constantly purchasing machine after machine after machine. Now, I watch a lot of YouTube channels that are in the t-shirt or custom apparel industry, and what I see often nowadays is that these creators are doing all these unboxing videos about the newest machine or equipment that just dropped, and I say to myself, do they really need that for what they're trying to do or what they're trying to accomplish? There's a couple of reasons a person might have these habits. Let's start with the first one. The first being they have a compulsive shopping disorder. Kind of like my mom, but don't tell her I said that. Where if they see something and think it's cool or a good idea or a great deal, they buy it. Even if they know they probably won't use it much or really don't need it. However, for the right price, it's worth it to them. The second reason is what we call the illusion of progress. Let me explain the illusion of progress. Now, we often feel that if we have the newest machine, we're making progress towards our goals and that much closer to being successful, and give off that illusion to other businesses or customers that we're highly successful because we can afford the best. But the reality is we're digging a deeper hole for ourselves financially. Now, don't get me wrong, if you can afford to do it and you need it, then by all means, do what you have to do. But the reality is, the equipment alone won't make us better at what we do. It's our skills, experience, and knowledge that truly matters. Here's an example. I have 2 heat press machines. The very first one I bought, which burnt out after a year or so, it was an Amazon 5-in-1 heat press. Matter of fact, I think it's right here. I have it right back here. Check this out. So this is what it looks like. Okay, the bottom platen is not on it. I had the cap press on it, I guess, last time I tried to use it. But this is what it looks like. All right, as you can see, it's very dusty, it's very old. All right, but that is the first heat press that I bought from Amazon. I didn't buy an expensive piece. That was my first press that I ever bought. That one burnt out after a year, so I had to buy another one. Now, being I burnt out my first one because of the volume I started doing at such a quick pace, I knew then I had to spend a little more money to upgrade to a better quality one. But I kept the old one just in case of emergencies because, again, you never know. So it's good to have a backup. That's the only reason I have 2. I didn't go out and buy a second one to have a backup. My first one burnt out. I had no choice. I had to go buy another one. The second one I bought is the one you see behind me from Heat Press Nation, my 15x15. That's the heat press that I've been running with and using ever since. It's been a great heat press. I have no issues with it. It does the job, it gets my orders done, and again, no issues. It's worked for me for the past 4 years, and not to mention, I run my business by myself, so I don't really need a second press at the moment. Yet I see people with 3 and 4 heat presses, and I say to myself, for what? And they're the only ones working their business or running their business. It's just funny to me because these creators give you the illusion that the newest is the best. Meanwhile, the machines do the same thing as what they currently have, maybe just with 1 or 2 more features, but definitely not worth spending hundreds and even thousands on, because these same creators, if you watch other videos they have, you'll see those same machines later on in the background on a shelf, never being used, so now they're just decorations. When you're first starting out, I get it. You don't know what's good, what's not, but don't waste your money on high-end equipment, especially that you're just starting out and you're not really familiar with it yet. Now, let me ask you, how does that help our newbies or those just starting out? They can't afford a machine for $5,000 or $10,000. I've seen hundreds of videos and posts with creators using the simplest of heat press machines, vinyl cutters, and some vinyl, or maybe even some transfers, and make way better work than a lot of these people and creators that's buying all these high-end machines and doing all these unboxing videos. And again, when I first started on YouTube, I might have been a victim of unboxing, but those same unboxings are the same equipment that I have to this day. My Heat Press Nation Signature Series 15x15, my Eco Tank over here, sublimation printer. I got 1 mug press, and I'll spin the camera so you guys can see my vinyl cutter. That's it. All right, I don't need anything else. for what it is that I do to process or get my orders done. All right, so I don't need 2 and 3 vinyl cutters. I don't need a Cameo or Cricut or this or that. I don't need 2 and 3 sublimation printers, okay? Listen, buy what you can afford and what works for you. There's no need to spend all this money having multiple, especially like I said before, especially when it's just you working your business by yourself. All right, how many machines can you work at one time? Let's be real, let's face facts. Don't be fooled by how many subscribers or followers these creators have, because most of them will never show you their ROI or return on investment for each piece of equipment that they unbox. Chances are they're wasted money on these purchases because it's a piece of equipment that's never being used. As for me, like I said, I have 2 heat press. My very first one, when that got burnt out, bought a second one, and that's the only one that I've been using ever since. I have 1 vinyl cutter. I have a mug press for my birthday and holiday gifts, a sublimation printer for my sports team jerseys, some vinyls, and when I'm ready, I order my transfers, my blanks, and I get to work. Very simple. My vinyl cutter is a 28-inch, and the only reason it's a big one is because I do a lot of custom card decals as well, like Toys for Top banners come the Christmas time and holiday season, and other big card wraps and so forth like that. If not, I would have just got a simple little Cricut or a Cameo that does just as well. So ask yourself, is it really necessary? And another thing you may want to do is maybe set a budget to purchase one piece of equipment each year. That way you know if you're making money off of that piece of equipment, or was that a waste of money upgrading and upgrading and upgrading. Then what are you going to do with all those previous machines? You're not going to be able to sell them and get anything worth it, because now there's a new machine out and everybody has a new machine. So as this becomes, a cycle, all you're doing is making these companies that make these machines putting more and more money in their pocket. All right, so let's think about that when we're talking to our newbies, our beginners, and let's make their job a little easier and their decision making a little easier. It's been your boy, Mr. T-Shirt. Thank you guys for watching. Catch you on the next one. Peace.